Hello, Ethos Academy, parents, families, and students. This is Mr. Powell, your Dean of Academics and Students, and today we're going to talk to you about the importance of NWEA testing and how we are going to be doing NWEA testing remotely. That means at your homes, at your home distance learning stations, instead of in the building like we have done in the past. So, hopefully you see I have my mask on. We are still making safety a top priority at Ethos, but because this is a video and I'm alone in my office so that you can hear me clearly, I'm going to go ahead and take my mask off. All right, so parents, NWEA testing is something that we have always done at Ethos Academy several times during the year. And what these tests do are allow us and our instructional staff to monitor your sons and daughters' progress in both their mathematics and their reading. We've normally taken the test when they are physically in the classrooms with their teachers, and that is the ideal way that we prefer to do it. However, due to us having to go back to 100% remote learning as a result of the COVID-19 crisis, we are going to be doing NWEA testing remotely. So that means one, we are still committed to providing the high level of academic services that you've become accustomed to here at Ethos. But number two, and equally as important, we're going to need you to partner with us again to make this successful. So we are asking parents if you can please make yourself or a responsible adult or even an older sibling available to please test with all students in grades kindergarten, first, second, and third grade. We would greatly appreciate it. Our scholars in grades 4 through 8 will likely be able to successfully complete the test on their own just by following the instructions of their teacher or test proctor. But for the students in grades K through 3, we feel that it's going to be very important for their success to know that they have an adult or older sibling that can help them navigate the computer and technical aspects of the test so that all they have to focus on is doing their very best on their math and reading test. So that you can prepare, as a school, we will be testing between Monday, December the 7th and Monday, December the 7th and Friday, December the 11th. My office is so chaotic right now. I have papers everywhere trying to get this video ready for you all. But let me repeat that. We will be testing Monday, December the 7th through Friday, December 11th. So your son or daughter's teacher will let you know their specific testing days and times. But in planning ahead, if you could please make sure that your sons or daughters are logged on to their Zoom classes on those days. And once you get your specific days between the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th of December, again, if you have a student in grades kinder, first, second, or third, if you could please make yourself a responsible adult or an older sibling available to help them in testing, we greatly appreciate it, and so would their test results. All right, so in order for this to be successful, you're going to need your Ethos Academy student Chromebook, which I'm currently on now. And once you've logged into the Chromebook, you're going to need to access two things. First, you'll need to access Google Chrome, and you'll do that simply by going down to the bottom of the screen and clicking on this icon here. And I'm going to go ahead and open it up just so you can see what would happen. And then next, you will also need Zoom. Now, you and your sons and daughters are probably pretty familiar with Zoom by now. This is what we use to do our live distance learning classes. For the sake of NWEA testing, this is the way that the teachers and the proctors will be able to communicate with your sons and daughters so that they can make sure they get the assistance that they need. So I've already set up a Zoom meeting here, but what you will want to make sure you use is the unique meeting ID and password that your son or daughter's teachers provide you. In most cases, it's going to be the exact same meeting ID and password that they've been using to log on to their daily classes. So you'll enter that in along with your student's first name and the password, and that will open up Zoom. Now, some teachers may choose to communicate all of the instructions verbally like I'm doing now. Others may choose to utilize the chat feature on Zoom, which, let me just move my little face out of the way here. So if the teacher chooses to utilize the Zoom chat, they can type a message right here and it will go out to your son or daughter and everyone in the class. But again, they need access to the Google Chrome web browser as well as Zoom. They will actually take the test using the Chrome browser, and the teachers and test proctors will communicate using Zoom. All right, before the actual real test, our teachers, it's built into the schedule. They are going to go over a practice test with all of their students, and they're also going to help them practice logging in. But before they even do that, we encourage all of you to watch some brief videos with your sons or daughters so that you all can be well prepared. And you can access those videos by going to this website here, studentresources.nwea.org. And as you can see, I'm already on that website. And then you'll just select the appropriate grade level for your son or daughter. I'm going to show you what each one looks like. So if you have a kinder through second grade, you would click on this. And then there's 3 different videos that you can watch by clicking on each subject. What's this test about? How to get ready for the test, and then just a brief pop-up screen that shows you what the practice test login looks like. Then, if you have a son or daughter that is in grades 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you would click on this. Same thing, what is this test about? Get ready for the test and the practice test, with one key difference, and we certainly want to encourage you and them to practice this. For certain tests, there are tools available. So if you click on this, this will allow your son or daughter to play with the different resources and get used to them, whether they need to make the print bigger so that they can see more clearly, whether they like to highlight something, whether they need to use a calculator. Please make sure that your son or daughter gets familiar with the tools. Now, as I said, the teachers are going to also do a practice test with your son or daughter. And they will communicate this as well, but you access the practice test by going to the website practice.mapnwea.org. And as you can see, I already have it there in my browser. And that will take you to this screen here. Again, the teachers will communicate this, but for all practice tests, the username and passwords are the word GROW, G-R-O-W. And then once you do that, the teacher will guide them through, but that will allow them to enter the test. They'll select their appropriate grade. At Ethos, we are kindergarten through 8th grade, as you know. And then the teacher will let them know which practice test they would like them to do. Again, just keep in mind, we only do the math and reading, so it will be one of those 2. And once they select that, they can select their language, English or Spanish, and then they can go ahead and do the practice test with their classmates. So again, the teachers will walk them through this, but this would be the second step in your journey. Please begin by exploring the introduction videos, and then on the assigned practice test day, again, you will need to have Zoom open. That will allow your teacher to communicate with your son or daughter. And then you will also need to access the practice test site by having your Chrome browser open and typing in practice.mapnwea.org. Then finally, and again, teachers will communicate the dates for all of this, the practice test and your actual testing dates. Just prior to the real test, you all will actually practice a live login. And so for that, you would go to the actual testing site, and that is test.mapnwea.org. Now you'll notice this says, oops, where's my test window? And naturally, you're probably thinking, Mr. Powell, there's something wrong. Let me show you though, what normally happens is your test window has been moved or minimized. So if you get this message, minimize that. And if you click here, you can see that it was actually just moved to a different tab within the Google website browser. So there's that website that I was talking about for the real test as well as the practice login. It is test.map.org. Now for this one, they will need a unique session name and password. Unlike the practice test where they were both the word grow, each real math or reading test creates a unique session ID and password, and that will be provided to your son or daughter by their teacher, again, using Zoom. The teacher will either say it out loud, like I'm talking now, or they'll use the chat feature. But once you've received your session name and password, you will enter the session name here, the session password here, and then you will click the blue arrow, and that will take you to the screen where your son or daughter will select their name, be confirmed, and then actually take their test. While the test is going on, your son or daughter's teacher or their test proctor will communicate instructions, again, either out loud verbally like I'm doing now, or using the chat feature in Zoom. So to summarize, parents, particularly of students in grades kinder, first, second, and third, if you can please plan on either you being available, a responsible adult or older sibling to help your students test. The test will take place between Monday, December the 7th and Friday, December the 11th. Teachers will communicate the specific dates and times that your students will test. For scholars in grades 4 through 8, we know that you've been doing it for a while, and in the event that you're unlikely to have a parent or unable to have a parent or guardian help you, we feel confident in your abilities, having tested before, that by listening carefully and following the instructions of your teachers or your test proctor, which will be a staff member that you're familiar with, you'll be able to navigate through your test successfully. Thank you so much for your time and your attention. Parents and guardians, as always, we thank you for your support of everything that we're doing here at Ethos Academy. Students, remember, these tests do not affect your grade. We simply want you to do your very best because they reflect how much you have learned from your amazing educators. Thank you so much. Everyone stay healthy, stay safe, and remember, together we are Ethos Strong.